did I ever worry about anything being too much? Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we are tackling the bag cupboard. If you've watched my channel for a while, you'll know that I generally film in front of the bags so as you can see the eye candy. There has been quite a while of filming in my bedroom, and the honest reason for that is because it was such a mess in here. I couldn't even have began to set up a filming setup, a light, a chair, and shown what was going on here, and it's still a mess. I've filmed a few videos in here and tried to rearrange a couple of the shelves, but it really needs done properly. So what I'm going to do today with you is I'm going to take all of the bags out. There's already a pile of bags on the floor. There are probably bags downstairs, but I'm going to take all of the bags out and I'm going to properly organise them and rearrange them and put them away properly. I get asked a few questions about storing bags and how do I store my luxury bags, and at the minute not very well and not how one would advise. If I'm honest, but I'm going to put them away. I'm going to put the felt on them and put them away properly and make sure they're stuffed. Because I use my bags, most of my bags, and will rotate them depending on what colour I'm going to wear or depending where I'm going, I can be lifting them in and out, and I get quite bad at restuffing them and putting them away. Like you'll generally see, yeah, there we go, didn't have to look too far. The stuffing from one of the bags or one of the handles is just sitting on the shelves when really they should be put back. These bags are so expensive. They really should be put back to the way to try and maintain their shape and look after them for as long as possible. So I'm going to take all of these out. I'm going to then show you the mess that's going to be on the floor, and then we're going to rearrange in here, get it into some sort of cohesive order and put them back how they're meant to be stored. Someone did say to me once, with this being your backdrop, could you not, put the bags a little bit more cohesively? And really I should. But it comes back to me just using them in a busy life and throwing them back in somewhere, which is not ideal. So we're going to take them all out. We're going to organise them. And it's going to work. Okay, let's start by getting all of the bags that are here out, and I will just put them all ceremoniously on the floor. I'm sure there are some real die-hard Chanel bag lovers or bag lovers out there that are screaming at me right now. Oh, there's a dust bag. See what I mean about not storing them? That are screaming at me right now about not taking better care as I just throw them all on the floor. Isn't that a disgrace? An absolute... By the way, if you see my feet, I have my most beloved things on at the minute, my Ugg slippers. If I remember, I'll link them below because they're fabulous. Yeah, this is a disgrace. That, yeah, no. And look over here, this is no better. And in there is definitely no better. Okay, so we're gonna I'll take those out as well, because the guy that actually built this is coming back to rearrange some of the other shelves and cupboards so as I have more shoe storage space, because if my husband sees another pair of shoes on the floor, I think he might divorce me. So I'm going to take them out as well, and we'll get a little bit of better, look at that trunk, oh my goodness, a little bit of better order going on in here. So the shoes are out as well, everything's out and on the floor, wonderful. The saddlebag is actually still upstairs because I meant to get, I have the, how am I going to do that without everything just flying everywhere? I have the Artie Capucines over here on one of these that I just got from Amazon, and I will link, I ordered another one first and it was awful, really not good and not nice, and I sent it back and then ordered this one. It was not expensive at all, so if I remember, I'll link that below in case anybody's looking for one of these. And I need to order, I need the dust as well. I need to order another one to put the saddlebag on, I think, just with the shape of that bag. So I'm just going to order another one of those, but I'll bring the saddlebag down and maybe try and put that somewhere that it's out, because I am really terrible for if I can't see something. So say the saddlebag, which is upstairs in my office still, with the a few other things that haven't been put away, I'll forget about it. I know that sounds terrible and that sounds very privileged, but if I can't see it, I'll forget. So I need to get it down here somewhere. I don't even know where to start. I don't need to worry about the never full because I don't store that up here. It's used every day for work, so it'll be going out. And I think I will maybe try and colour, store them, kind of put them, display them colour, maybe. Let's start. Okay, I'm going to get all of the pinks onto a shelf and maybe try and start that way. Now, obviously they're not going to sit like that, but just if I can get them off the floor and get them into kind of maybe colour order, I might be able to rearrange them a bit easier. Just now really trying to get all of the bags off the floor and up in here so I can look and see what I'm actually looking at and find some way that I want to display them. I love this little orange bag just because it's so bright. This was the first ever Chanel bag I bought, the boy with the handle. And it's one of my least used bags, but I just can't bring myself to think about letting it go. I know it just edges up an outfit. I think it's really funky, but for some reason it's one of the bags I reach for least. Look what I found. I love it when that happens. Oh, I also found my Charlotte Tilbury lipstick. What else? Tissues. That's not bad. Not bad at all. I'm really going to start moving about what's in there and keep some on the floor just to give me some space. Otherwise, what was I doing taking them all out in the first place? Bags like this one that have a long, thin strap. It would be neater and tidier to display it in here if I took the strap off and rolled it in a circle and put it inside the bag. But you can see how easily a thin strap like this will kink if you store it that way. So I generally try to leave them out sitting on the shelf. Now it makes the display and the storage a little bit messier, but it means you're not then working with trying to get kinks out of straps, which can be also not great. The mini Chanels I do store with the strap pulled down and inside, and I generally have them stuffed, but this is a great example of not putting it away properly. But you should store your bags with stuffing in them. It helps to preserve the shape, it helps to preserve the structure. I'm not saying automatically you might want to sell your bags. I don't really like selling bags, but I still want to preserve them and keep them in their shape for as long as possible, especially a bag like this, which is quite soft in the tweed. So really, for me to have that, put that back in and just been lazy really and not stuffed it is really not good enough, and it should have stuffing in it. I will also generally keep my, well, when I'm actually doing it properly, but I will have stuffing inside the bag, and then I also, the spare strap is inside this bag, so the Fendi crossbody is inside it, and also the dust bag is inside it, and that just keeps it all in there and helps keep that in a little bit of shape. How beautiful is that bag? I've only got this, and every time I've looked at it since or shown it on the camera, the colour is just, oh, it's fabulous. Again, I've used this bag. It's not stuffed, strap's not in. Really important in lambskin. This bag is a lambskin mini, and I just had the strap hanging out. But you need to be careful with lambskin that the strap doesn't rest on your bag. So whenever you pull this in and have it sitting like that, the chain is sitting on your lambskin, and you could end up with indentations on the lambskin of the chain, which is not what any of us wants. To get around that, you really should wrap something around this. Now I know Samorga are doing, I think you can buy things that put around them. I haven't bothered, to be honest. I am pretty bad at even remembering to wrap them with the paper that I have to put around them. So I will pull the chain down sometimes and let it hang. You shouldn't, because the chain mark can still go on the back of your lambskin. It really should be wrapped in something to protect the lambskin and just to keep as little possibility of indentation on there as possible. I also hadn't bothered putting this back on it, but with lambskin bags, you really should. So a little bit of felt that just sits over the bag, and it just protects it from getting indentations on the inside. And I'm great at showing you how to do this, and you can see that most of my bags, when I've used them, I put them back in and I haven't bothered putting them back properly. I don't recommend that at all. It's me being busy / lazy, but these are expensive, so to look after them properly, there should be something stuffing them, there should be a little bit of felt protecting them, and there should be something protecting the chain. If I don't have any air paper, which comes in a lot of packages that you would order, I just stuff it with tissue paper. You can get bag pillows, and I have bag pillows that were gifted to me by Leather Salute, I believe, in a couple of my bags, and they're really handy. I don't, for bags like this, I don't use a bag organizer in mini bags. I do have, I'll sit on my shelf. I do have bag organizers. I have one in the bucket bag and I have one in the 19. I actually need to get one for the other 19. They're very, very handy for bags to keep the structure, and I'll show you the ones that I store with them in it. I don't have them for these, and the bag pillows or something, I've used tissue paper in this, but something inside to keep the shape is ideal. This is the 17 Rose C or Rose Gold 17C caviar bag, and look, not stuffed. I am a disgrace to handbag lovers everywhere. Now stuffed, and I've turned the light on because it's getting quite dark outside so you guys can see. So this is now stuffed, but really, try and be better than I am. Finally a bag stuffed with air paper. Look at the beauty of the gold inside that bag. Isn't the inside interior of that bag just stunning? But it actually has air paper like they all should have. So this Chanel 19 is one of the bags that is very important to store stuffed, and I know that's great coming from me who's just showed you a vast majority of my bags put back in there with no stuffing. This one is stuffed. It is either put, I only have one organizer, I need to order another one. The other organizer's in the black bag. The 19, because it's a slouchy bag, especially the tweed, which is soft and makes it a softer bag, could really lose its structure and could lose its shape. So either keep the 19 pretty well stuffed or keep an organizer in it. I would say preferably an organizer. I'm going to order another one, so there's one to keep in this. I should have done that by now, to be honest with you. But if you don't have one, just keep it really well stuffed to try and help maintain its shape. Gwenny's having a fit. I like the colour of this houndstooth tweed with this, what way? With this purple. I think that's pretty. I think they go well together. So maybe should I bring down this little lambskin, which also isn't stuffed. I'm gonna have to go through and stuff all these bags. That's really, really poor behaviour. I also like to use books in storage and display, probably more for display than storage. These are all Chanel or Megan Hess books. I just like the way it looks. I think it adds a little bit to the display. I like the height that it gives. I just think it's pretty, really. And I want to put in these. I got these in Paris with Bestie, and I want to add them into the display. Really, because I like them. My husband got me this Chanel book at Christmas. This Chanel 19 in the leather is, oh, it has its organizer in it and it's stuffed for once and actually being well behaved. But also looking after your own things. Like, it's so, for me to have spent that amount of money I have in these bags and then to carelessly look after them or not stuff them right, it's just ridiculous. It's really not good. Anyway, this one has its organizer. Highly recommend an organizer for the 19, but I don't like the overly slouchy look. I also think it keeps its shape pretty well when it has the organizer. Classic flaps, I am showing you a very bad example, but they should be stored without putting your turn lock in, because when you put the turn lock in, it pulls this down and it adds pressure, so the chain marks in these will inevitably leave. You can see it on mine there, maybe. I don't know if you'll has anybody been watching Connor's reels? Focus, focus, focus. That's what that brings me to mind. If you haven't, check out Connor the Closet's reels on YouTube. They are hilarious about the things luxury YouTubers do that annoy us. But focus is one of them. But anyway, you can see in real life, you can see the marks here from the chain. If you store your classic flaps with this
in, it increases the pressure to pull it down and increases the pressure on the chain mark in your bag. You should also store a classic flap with felt, just to keep the pressure as little as possible. I'm full of great tips and ideas, I just don't do them all the time. This one is also stored with its organizer in it. It just helps, it's a seasonal bag, the caviar is not as thick on seasonal bags, and it just helps, it keeps its shape. Also a bucket bag is like a black hole, so for using it, the organizer is very handy to help find things. Tweed, again, because it's soft, it's very important, any of your soft fabric bags, to keep them stuffed. That's when I'm actually listening to my own advice. Black and white tweed is still one of my favourite bags. It's the one that has the little Coco Chanel, it's probably blown out, ribbon through it. I just, even if I don't use it that much, it's one of those bags I just love. I love this as well in all its colours. It's a smile maker. How are we getting there? Where is she gonna go? She really needs to have, I am in love with this bag. This bag will need to have pride place. She's one of those. Very old little Lulu Guinness, but I remember taking many a photograph when I was younger and out going like this. Obviously without the Gucci mini. And that was like my favourite pose in my photographs. I'm really showing my age here, and maybe how I'm not that cool and trendy. She looks really pretty with the Paris stuff. So let's just shimmy across and fit her in there, I think. Yeah, I think so. And then this little drop of brightness. Oh no, she doesn't work with the Fendi at all. It's probably best on this one too. Is that too much? When did I ever worry about anything being too much? This one is always hard to store because it's floppy and it doesn't have much structure. I can't hang it off the doors, because when I hang it off the doors don't close, and I like having the doors closed on it because it helps manage the dust and keep the sunlight out. There's glass in them. It actually does, just where the angle is, but it definitely helps with the dust. This, I think I will prop down the side because it also gets used a lot. So if I prop it down here to be easily lifted out, and then I also have, with lots of things falling out of them, my Toiletry 26 and 19. We were away at the weekend again. See the toothpaste? I use these. I think these are great. The thing about the canvas is they wipe clean. If I was a bit better at keeping them wiped clean, I could wipe that toothpaste off. But for anybody that would sometimes say, well, do you need, no, you don't need all three. Of course you don't need all three. You don't need any of this stuff. But I generally do really enjoy having both, and I find them quite usable, especially now that we're able to go a bit more places since lockdown is easing in different places. I like them. I know it's maybe on trend at times to be downsizing and saying that you shouldn't have all three or you shouldn't have as many things. Well, of course you never need all of anything with this luxury stuff, but I'm probably not one for downsizing and curating too much. But I'm adding bags in. That Fendi just came, and there's some more arriving, and there are bags going out, and I'm sticking to that. I've talked about it in a couple of videos, and I know I'm not a one in, one out, and I'm not a downsizer, and I'm not a curator. I like an eclectic mixed collection. I like colour. I like having different colours of the same thing, but there has to come to a point where it becomes too much, and I reached that and I felt uncomfortable, so some are going out to bring some in. Okay, let's take a look and see how we're doing. Now the trunk is not back in, should never have been in the first place. It should be given pride of place somewhere where it's going to sit. I haven't had time with how crazy things have been to even think about what's going in it or where it's going to be. I need to do that because it's a disgrace that it's stuffed in that cupboard. That needs to be done, and then the rest of this needs to be sorted out. I do need to get the saddlebag down, but one step at a time. I'm going to turn you around and just give you a look at the bags. I still haven't done the shoes. I will tidy up the ones on the bottom shelf, but as I said, the guy who made this is coming back to change some space around to give me more shoe storage because there's shoes everywhere. I don't know if you've been around long enough, but I said this before. I was a shoe lover before a handbag lover, so this cupboard behind us, the bag cupboard, was actually made for shoes. And when we were getting this put in and they asked me about handbag storage, I was, I don't need any handbag storage. Oh, how times have changed. So he's having to come back and put more shoe storage in. But I'm going to spin you around and let you have a look at what the bags look like. And then I do need to do the rest of over here and organise this desk and organise these shoes and the shoes that are over there. And I'll probably come back to that with you on another day. But for now, this is what we have. That's the top shelf of the bags. There's obviously wedges up there. And then come down into the brights. And then I like that shelf. It's a bit eclectic, isn't it? And the bottom, the blacks. And then down to some more colour. A little bit better than they were. They're still not perfect. I don't have a huge amount of time, but it's definitely better than it was. It's at least presentable and not letting them down a bucket full. I will get around the rest of the room and I will share that with you. I do need to get on top of it because it really is not how it's meant to look. But thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for keeping me company. Thank you for giving me someone to talk and share this all with. Thank you so much. Just thanks for being here. Please take care and I will see you again in the next one.